Good morning, students. This is Asha, your social science teacher. Today we are going to start chapter 2 in geography, and name of the chapter is Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. So the chapter name seems to be too big. What it deals with? It deals with all these resources. Chapter 1 we studied about resources, different types of resources, and in this chapter 2, we'll be studying about land resource, soil resource, water resource. We'll be studying what these resources are, what are their uses, and how we are using them, that they are now in the position to be conserved. Now we need to conserve all these resources. So all that will be studying in this chapter. So children, you must be knowing the life of the people living at a place is greatly affected by land, quality of soil, availability of water, natural vegetation and wildlife of that place. Human life is greatly affected by these factors. Natural resources not only determine the population of a place but also affect food habits, occupation, cultural values of the people at that place. Suppose a person lives in coastal area, their food habit will be coastal, fishes and other things in their food. So like these resources affect population and are living to a great extent. So let's start this chapter, and we'll start with land resources. Children, you know, land is an extremely important natural resource. Land resource include mountains, plains, plateaus, islands, etc. It covers 29% of total surface area of the earth. 29% is land and remaining is water. However, out of this 29%, 90% of the world population occupies only 30%. 29% land, only 90% population live on 30% of the land. Remaining 70% population, like you can say population, the 70% land is of no use because it is in the form of mountains or plateaus. And why it is difficult to live on that particular region? It is due to uneven distribution of land resources on earth. Like places like river valleys, plain area, they differ. The rugged topography, steep slopes of the mountain, low-lying areas where you can have waterlogging, people don't live there. So this is also land, but it is not used. Only the 30% of land which is used for living, for staying, for building, construction and other things. Remaining 70% land is in the form of mountain and other things. Right? Now, that's about the land resource. How do we use land resources? That we are going to study now. Land is used by man for various purposes. Land is, as a resource, is used for cultivation of crops, grazing of animals, building houses and roads, mining, manufacturing. There are different uses of land. Using land for different purpose is termed as land use. People live conveniently and in more systematic and developed way in areas where suitable land is available. Where suitable land is available, people live easily in that area. In such areas, land is extensively used as a resource. The use of land resource is determined by physical factors and human factors. So now we'll be studying those factors which affect the land use pattern. Right? So there are few factors which we are going to discuss one by one. The first is topography. So how the land will be used greatly depend upon the topography of this land. So what exactly topography is? The physical feature of an area. What is topography? It is the physical feature of an area affect the land use pattern. Like fertile plains with good network of rivers and suitable for human settlement. On the other hand, Lofty mountains might not be suitable due to difficulty of constructing roads and railways. So topography, what kind of topography that land is it mountainous, plain or plateau, that also determines its land use value. The next important factor is soil. The characteristic and quality of soil determine the crop growth. If soil is fertile, there would be more crops in that area. Like alluvial soil is fertile and supports growth of various food crops. The soil found on the mountain lacks minerals, only big trees can grow. So type of soil also determine the way land can be used. Next important factor is climate. Climatic conditions of a place influence land use pattern. Places with extreme climate, like in polar region, are not suitable for pastures or croplands. North Pole or South Pole, you know children, it's not easy to survive in that area because of that cold climate. In the same way, the tropical region, terraced equatorial forest area, you will find very little human settlement. So the climate also affects the land use pattern. Next important factors which affect land use is minerals. In places that have high deposits of minerals, mining is a popular activity. Industries to process this mineral also set up these areas. For example, in India, the plateau region making takes place. Mining, Deccan Plateau area, you must have heard, there are so many mining process take place. So availability of minerals also determine the land use pattern. The next is availability of water. Water is very important for survival of human beings. Water is essential for living beings. Human settlement in those areas where water is easily available through rain and river. So people will try to settle in the area where water is easily available. Agriculture also needs water, industry also needs water. So yes, land use will be determined greatly by the availability of water in that particular region. Next important factor is population and technology. We discussed there are two factors which determines land use. One is physical and the second is human. So the first five, topography, soil, climate, mineral, all these are physical, and the human factor is population and technology. So adoption of new technologies has had a profound impact on land use pattern. Modern irrigation system have led to making non-arable land fit for crop growth. So earlier cultivation was done where easily water is available, but we do have now canals and other system, irrigation system has developed. So we can do cultivation in area where water was not available earlier, right? And right now humans have also developed new farming methods to reduce soil erosion. So now humans are making many lands useful because of their new technologies, right? Now let's move on to the next topic, which is classification of land resources. So how do we classify land resources? Land resources can be classified on the basis of ownership into two categories. First is private land and the second is community land. So what is private land? Private land is owned and used by an individual or for personal purpose. Suppose I have a land which I use for my purpose, my personal thing, that is a private land. On the other hand, community land is owned and used by community for collective purposes such as for storage of fruits, vegetable, food grains. Community lands are also known as common property resource because they are used for many people for common goal. That's why it is known as community land. Right, children? So let's quickly recap what we discussed today. we discussed about different resources, and we mainly concentrated on land resource. We discussed what exactly land resource is, then we discussed land use, and then we discussed factors affecting land use patterns, and then we did classification of land resources. And children, in tomorrow's lecture we'll be discussing conservation of land resource, why there is a need for conservation of land, and then we'll be discussing landslides, what are landslides, and we'll be studying a case study of Pangi village where very big landslide happened, and then we'll discuss about the mitigation mechanism, how we can minimize these slides. So that's all we'll be discussing in tomorrow's lecture. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you.